But anyway, what I was saying right at the beginning, we got it in really quickly. But like I said, like what I was getting at, we were talking a bit before, just before we got onto the podcast here. I do like D&D. Maybe not better than Magic, but they're different. But I like Magic, but like I said, I'm very competitive.
I think I like D&D better, but
I think it's more my sort of thing.
I also really like Magic recently. It's been fun.
I do. Yeah, I agree. It's just like I said, whenever I do anything competitive, it bothers me. Like I find it hard to.
Or even when something's not going right.
Not even just that, but even when things are going right and I'm playing, I get cutthroat. You know what I mean? Like I get like.
I think you do a little, but it's kind of fun. I like when you get cutthroat. It makes me want to play harder, but I feel like sometimes I just need to chill. Like the other night when I lost and I was like, let's play again. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, should I really be like this or should I just go to bed? So,
no, I get that though. Like I think we're very similar in that regard.
Yeah.
Even like it happens even in D&D sometimes. And get competitive and just one-upmanship and shit and stuff like that.
I feel like it's been better, but I mean I do remember there would be times where it's like one guy do something and the other guy steps up, but I'm gonna do it better.
I'm gonna do it better than
you.
No, I agree. No, I don't think that's happened in a while, but it can.
Yeah.
Especially with us, I think. But like I said, with Magic or any just competitive game, yeah, that's why I'm hesitant to get into like competitive multiplayer games. Like.
Woo.
I get pissy.
Fuck you, he says.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I will fucking kill. Like, yeah, you know how it is, right? I don't ever put my mic in and talk online.
Yeah.
But,
I don't tend to either.
Well, ask Jenna, right? Like, she gets mad at me because I start, like, swearing too hard at the TV and stuff like that. Like,
really?
With Battlefront 2, the last game that I did that, like, I did the online.
Yeah.
I get pissed off. I go to win. It's just, my heart can't handle it.
See,
Magic, it's a bit like that with Magic too. That's why I'm hesitant to play it all the time.
See, I find I'm like kind of the opposite when I play. I find I don't say much until I'm like talking with people, and then I get like, then it all comes out. But when I get mad when I'm by myself, I'm just kind of like. I just get really discouraged. But then when I'm like talking with friends, or if I'm playing if I play League with a group of people, I'm like, what the hell? Why is blah 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 blah? But if I'm like by myself, same exact scenario, I'll be by myself and just like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, you do get like that. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like even if you're playing something competitive, and you're
with
like
people,
and you're on the Discord.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
And we're not even involved, and we're like, what are you talking about?
But if I'm by myself, I won't say anything. But if I'm talking to somebody, it comes out.
It comes out. I get that too.
That's me.
I get that. Welcome. Anyway.
But anyways.
Welcome to But Anyway. Then that's our official name now. But anyway, I suppose this would be episode 2. I'm Chris.
I'm Brenden.
And we actually recorded another episode about a week ago. We recorded it with my brother Dan. It went pretty well. We had some audio issues, though.
Yeah.
And we had to do a bit of editing on the thing, and it still hasn't come out yet. So eventually we might release that. We'll put that out in a bit here, but this might be the second official episode.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Other second one is we had a bit of an issue with some background noise and just mic settings in particular.
Well, it's because Dan kept hitting the fucking table.
Because we got so into certain topics. Whenever we start talking, it'd just be like a boom.
I did too.
So did I. So
we all did. Whenever we're gonna get him on here for everybody to listen to, because Dan's awesome. We all he pumps everybody up. I think.
Oh, it was a good time. It's a entertaining episode, that's for sure. But it's also just like. It's hard to listen to at some points.
Yeah,
it gets pretty loud and lots of pops.
It's hard on the ears.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, we've been playing a lot of like Magic the Gathering. We've been playing some Dungeons and Dragons lately. We've been having fun with both, so obviously that's what we were talking about already.
Yeah. We just finished playing a game of Magic, actually.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
I didn't find it that bad.
Yeah, because you won. You curb stomped me.
It wasn't that close.
Okay. I got curb stomped.
He had a hard time drawing too. To be fair, he drew some good land, but he couldn't draw creatures that he needed to advance things. Like if you had what's his name, Reese, I wouldn't have been able to deal with him after I had drawn.
Why?
I'd already played Sheaf and Meteor and Rift Bolts.
Yeah, I actually took him out of the deck too, because he
would actually be good against that deck so long as I didn't.
Maybe.
As long as I didn't have the time to, because especially with Trample, I'd either have to sacrifice all my minions, or he would just he'd hurt me.
I guess.
and everyone else. Like he would actually be good in that deck.
I don't know. Well, like I said, if I had a sideboard or whatever
Perhaps,
it's called,
yeah.
then he maybe would have been put in after. But we only played one game anyway.
Yeah, we were just waiting for things.
Yeah, waiting for the computer to load up. Stupid computer. But
It happens.
yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I might need to. I don't think that the deck's okay, but it's kind of like. It's kind of slow, and yeah, it could be better. Like, I like that it's an elf deck, but I also like winning. So.
It gives you a lot of tools, I find. Like, there's a lot in it, so you can take some of the cards and then maybe start getting individuals and build a deck from it.
Well, I don't even know about that, because a lot of it is centered around, like, it's a tribal thing. Like, it's centered around having elf creatures.
You could build an elf green deck, though, and take some of the cards from that and then just build an individual one.
That's the plan. That's my goal, is I want to use, like, that as my skeleton and then make, like, a more competitive elf tribe deck.
It's kind of what I'm thinking with that red-blue deck I have. I like a lot of the stuff in it. Like, I didn't think I'd like it that much.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Jorah, or Joria.
Yeah.
She's really cool. I love that mechanic of, like, putting a guy out and have him come in later for cheaper.
Yeah.
And with, like, the Deep Sea Kraken and other guys to suspend, I could make a pretty solid deck out of that.
Okay.
It's just, nobody likes playing against Storm either.
And, well...
Which is that mechanic with the goblins, where I basically am like, hey, I played a spell before that and a spell before that.
Yeah,
and
that's
then I get to make even more. Yeah,
that's how Will beats me too.
Storm?
Basically, not like it's not that card, but it's that style where you start getting a bunch of little counters out there, and that deck that you were playing me seems to be like that. And I don't really have a good answer to that sort of stuff. Like, I think the vampire deck would be problematic just because of all the flyers and the lifesteal. That would be
the only thing I
annoying.
think I could deal with them is those killer cards I burnt early.
Yeah.
Or I do have 2 creatures that have flying, but
it's 2 creatures.
They're expensive too.
But even so, like, if you were able to do what you did and get that many little creature tokens out, then I still wouldn't. Exactly, that's the problem. That's just a general problem I've had playing so far, is that I have a hard time with both of my decks with dealing with just a bunch of creature tokens at the same time.
Get some Fumigate.
What color is that?
It's white.
I don't have. Oh, the vampire deck. Yeah, I could
deck.
put that on the sideboard. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how green is supposed to deal with that though, because I was talking with. Like you said, with the guys at the store, and they're just like, "Yep, you've got like remove enchantment cards, and you've got a couple other things, but you don't really have anything to wipe boards."
Yeah.
So I don't know
for
what
green,
to do.
I would say probably for at least the deck that I was playing, probably forcing that the Pyromancer, the one that can bring in the elementals.
Yeah.
Probably forcing her to.
I dealt with the Pyromancer.
I know, but she summoned elementals though.
Yeah.
Anyways, probably forcing her to fight you.
Well, that's
like in a 1v1.
That's exactly what I did though.
Yeah.
I did that. She already, because she just gets the elementals when she gets.
She
played.
didn't. To be fair, she didn't bring in that many. She only brought in 2.
But
which,
I know, but it's still like.
And then for the goblins,
I don't know.
I'd say look into maybe getting a guttural response just so you can block how many come in.
Guttural response.
It's a red or green. It costs 1 only, and you can counter a blue instant spell.
That's
it's not going to counter the red, because that's a card that I put the goblin one.
I know.
But it would at least counter everything I build up to that.
And then
then I wouldn't be playing 6 of them. I'd be playing maybe 2 or 4.
So it would save me.
And it's only 1, and it's a blue instant counterspell. That, or even just look at see what other green sort of counterspell options.
The other
there are.
answer is like if I don't do a mono color, is if I mix it up.
True.
Like it might just be like this deck doesn't work well against that play style, so like the answer is just use a different deck.
Yeah.
So I might, like I said, I want to look into that challenger deck.
That green black.
Yeah, because even if I don't use it exactly as it comes, I think it'd be cool to because I have a bunch of green and black already, to kind of just gut it, see what I can do with it.
I was thinking about buying it too, just to see what's in it and maybe try it out. It's not a bad price, and from what I've heard, the girl on the cover, the rogue.
Want to go half on it?
And split it?
No, we'll co-own it. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, I can go get one for free though, because I have a $50 EB Games card.
Oh well,
and they're selling it down at my local EB Games.
Never mind then. You do what you got to do.
I might just get it for free.
I might just go buy it then.
If I buy it though, if I get it for free, I mean, you can come test it. We'll play Challenger versus Challenger.
Actually,
see how it works out.
The thing is, if I'd want to buy it, like maybe test it, but I'd want to buy it so I could learn, learn the cards and actually have it on me.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Can
I'll
buy
try
it. We'll open it together and we'll do a test run with it if you want to try it out.
Maybe.
I might do that. I gotta get more sleeves too for my stuff.
Okay. Yeah, me too. And then if I like it, I'll just buy
Get
it.
one.
I'll just
Yep.
buy it myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
we
good
should do
way.
it because it seems like that girl seems pretty cool. I wonder what their I wonder what that deck's kind of deal is though.
I haven't really done much research on it, but like I said, that girl is apparently she's in a lot of competitive decks.
Okay.
It's for blue black, not for green black, but still, she's a black card.
She's black.
Yeah, she's a rogue, a
Interesting.
human rogue.
Okay.
thing. Apparently, she's really good.
All right. I wonder if I can get like a black planeswalker. Is that a thing?
Oh, there
Which
are
one?
green black planeswalk. We could just look up.
You're right.
list
We'll
of
look
them.
it up later.
There are tons. So
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't really matter very much.
super
but-
useful.
All right. Anyway, that's what's going on with Magic the Gathering.
I want to build a deck too.
I
and
do
the
too.
commander deck. I want to get that wizard commander deck. Same 2017 series as Markov.
Oh, so it's just one of those. Oh, so they
Yeah.
hopefully they'd be even then.
Yeah, they should be. I watched. Well, actually, I watched. It was a like a 4-man free for all where they all took one of the different challenger decks that came out, or
Challenger, you mean commander
decks that came out in 2017,
Okay.
and they all had like a big free for all. Like they had like the big 10/10 dragon one.
Right.
They had this wizard, and then they had the cat deck
Yeah.
as well, and they all played, and the vampires ended up winning it.
Oh,
pretty
there you
good.
go.
They did a
Well,
good
that's
job.
cool.
The poor wizard got
Well, I
like he
got hammered.
yeah, in the beginning, because one of the decks had curses, so they put a curse on the guy so that every time you attacked him, you'd get something called a gold, which you could basically exchange on your turn for any color of mana that you wanted.
Yeah.
And then if you also attacked him, you got a zombie token.
Oh.
So if somebody cursed him, so there was a bunch of like, it's like if you attacked him, like why wouldn't you in the early game? So he couldn't really get anything set up.
That's too bad.
But, I mean,
poor bastard.
He looked like he had some cool cards, and I like playing that kind of control style game.
Yeah.
I know you say it's because I don't want any friends.
It's because you don't want any friends. It is frustrating to play against.
I
To be
lo-
fair, I'm not a very good player. That's the other
I like
thing.
that. I know the problem with blue, and the thing that I've even noticed with that deck that I have is if I can't get those minions out, there's nothing I can do to
Yeah.
kill. I can delay a lot, but I can't kill.
Yeah.
So that's what I've noticed with blue being the problem. It's kind of nice having that red in there, but
Yeah, I
even then,
bet. The red blue combo seems
It's all right.
frustrating because you
It's
can hit
quick,
you can
it's-
hit guys and
it's
then
quick
you can,
counterattacks, I find.
but then and then you can control the battlefield. This would have come in handy, by the way. If I had for the black deck, I might put some of those in
Okay.
there to fight that deck
Any type of your choice,
just to get rid of
It's
those goblins.
5, but yeah, you could get rid of
is a
goblins
5
or
cost, which-
elementals or human wizards or
Yeah.
whatever.
The 5 cost kind of sucks, but
Well, I mean, it's a nice, like, that's a good use, though, especially if you're versing, like, tribal decks.
Eldrazi.
Oh, yeah, you could be like, hey, but those are older cards, though, too, right? When
Yeah,
were they
those-
printed?
That's correct. They're older.
Extinction, we're talking about.
1997.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Extinction sorcery card. It's black, costs 5 mana, and you can destroy all creatures of any creature type of your choice.
Yeah, which would be good in my black deck.
Yeah, for your vamps.
Might even keep that in the challenger deck if there's not. Okay, I'd have to see it. We'll have to take a look. And
Yeah.
I like my tribes, but I'm also big on just liking the cards that I have. So I
Yeah.
have to see.
I'm
what it
like I
comes
said,
with.
I'm really thinking about picking up that one. If they had another different challenger set in my EV games, I might look into that too. But I only saw them have 2.
Sure. So pick it up
So,
then.
yeah, may as well.
Might as well.
Because I don't really buy video games from EV games anymore. So.
Well, who buys video games?
Like physicals
yeah,
anymore?
who does that?
Hardly
Very
anybody.
rarely.
You buy them for like maybe if you pre-order and you get bonuses for it, but
True.
really
There's a lot of places when you order online, it'll give you pre-order bonuses too, though.
Yeah.
Like unless you're, I know for a while the big fad was like little statues.
yeah.
Like get people to buy games.
I have the Reach Legendary Edition statue.
I never bought any of them. I never. Yeah, I had some friends who did.
It wasn't
but-
for pre-ordering though; it was for getting the Legendary Edition. Of the
Oh,
game.
okay.
It was $150 back in
that Halo.
2012.
Oh well, there you go,
Yeah,
man. What was I gonna say there? EB Games is kind of like
it's like
diversified.
they have
If
to.
you've noticed.
Yeah, half their shelves I notice now are games. The other half is merchandise. But I feel like that's kind of what they have to do.
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't.
people don't buy games in stores anymore.
Yeah, they'd be very limited if they didn't do that because what incentive like you said besides like specific pre-order bonuses and I guess collector's items, what benefit do you have or incentive do you have to buy a physical game? versus a digital game.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would.
Exactly. Digital games are, and you don't have to pay for the cost of the store having to store them and to sell them, and to actually stock them. Online, you can usually get them cheaper, and it's just you don't have to worry about where you're gonna store them. And even with a lot of the next gen consoles, even just to play discs, you still have to download the content off them now. So it's not like you're saving yourself any memory.
That's a good point. Yeah, even if you get it, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not saving anything really.
It makes sense from I never got an Xbox One or anything, but even with my 360, it makes sense for me to buy a physical copy of a game because it's at least I don't have to put it onto my hard drive,
Yeah.
But now it's everything goes on there anyways, and everything's just so massive and your hard drive now anyways.
It's not much point. The only thing, actually, the one thing, by the way, that I have used EB Games for is if I have some old games and I can trade them in and then I can get a cheaper game. That's the only thing I've.
Yeah.
I think I got Shadow of War that way.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's quite the trade-in then for Shadow of War.
I think I still wound up paying for half of it.
It's still not bad for. Was it new at the time?
Yeah, newish.
Okay, so
I think it was
$50.
No, I think it was still 70 or 80 or something. Okay. Whatever the full price
got
was.
$40.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, it's all right. That's the other thing they do, and then you can get cheap games. I guess recycled games is there. I know I used to work there, and that's where we made most of our money.
Yeah,
is recycled games.
Yeah,
and then since I've left, that was a few years ago. They've went into the collectible items and things like that.
You can get all those pop figures there.
Yeah,
I went there the other day and I saw there was a monopoly of Deadpool.
What's the point of those pop figures?
Just collectibles.
Yes, little collectibles.
They number them off and stuff. I have one at home. It's the Skyrim Nord.
And
honestly,
okay.
It just because it looks like a dwarf.
Right.
So I'm I want my next D&D character to look like this guy. So I just have him sitting on my desk, and I'm
cool.
Hey, you're cool.
And speaking of D&D, like I said, we've been playing a lot of D&D lately, and I really enjoy my Gloomstalker.
Yeah, tell us the story about how you took on an army of, a small war band of gnolls.
Well, it's just it's cool that the Gloomstalker is very good at fighting in the night. They got the Umbral Sight feature, I believe.
Yes.
So they get better dark vision, but also, according to that rule, within the dark, hey cat, within the dark, you are invisible to creatures who rely on dark vision, which is really, really good. So obviously we're fighting in the dark because I would refuse to travel during the day.
Well, as a drow anyways.
As a dark elf Gloomstalker.
Yeah.
So I'm we picked off gnolls, and it was easy. They were easy to kill. The only thing that saved them was they had a guy with fairy fire.
That's
only
true.
Thing that
they
saved
did,
them.
Which was something I threw in because I thought otherwise this is gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be really.
But
really
I just
short.
well, those guys, the ones that spoke Abyssal but didn't have the flint, the mace.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys do have special stuff for making them Abyssal. They're the ones that lore if they eat. If they eat you or they kill you, you turn into a gnoll or something that if you eat in their presence.
Ugh.
Yeah, so those guys are the ones that kind of create more gnolls. So I was thinking with them giving them a little bit of magical, just innate magical ability.
Conveniently, they had fairy fire. DM.
And once per day use.
That's still annoying. That's okay though. Gotta make it interesting.
Exactly. And the flaming sword thing, I was glad I got to do that. I should have used it more because...
because they had flaming weapons. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I'm put into their... I was actually looking into Voldo's guide, and each gnoll warband has a specialty.
Right.
And for them, it's they use flaming weapons and arrows.
That's kind of cool.
I forgot to use their flaming arrows because I was an idiot, but I was just hey, why not giving their war chiefs, the guys with the big swords, why not give them flaming weapons, So I did that. So it was cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Oh yeah, just to be clear, in case it wasn't clear by now, I was playing. Brenden was DMing. DMing
and sort of playing along, but
yeah,
it's only because we usually play with the two, maybe three people. It's us two and maybe a third guy,
and maybe a fourth. We had four a few days ago.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, it was. That was cool too.
Yeah, we killed a god or a demigod.
Yeah, you guys ended up defeating a god.
That was interesting.
His territory-ish.
Shouldn't he have died then?
Yes and no, because he wasn't on his home plane, and
right.
they don't die in an essential way like that. You have to kill them in special ways.
I thought to kill a deity,
There's
you had to go to their plane of existence and then kill them there.
Yeah, and usually they're not that simple. There's usually something else involved in order to kill them. Like, I know some of them in particular, they'll say, like, you have to have a certain artifact and destroy that first before they can be killed. Some of them, they're quite fickle, and Archfey in particular are pretty weird. So,
yeah.
but, yeah, you did actually, like, as far as dropping him to 0, you did, but he wasn't in his home plane. You guys were kind of in a demi-plane, but you were on the material plane.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know. I thought we'd actually gone there. I wasn't sure.
It was a weird sort of like
in between state.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, I wanted to describe it more, but it was like this in between world. If you would have looked up, it would have been.
We weren't there to talk.
That's
it became
true.
very apparent very quickly.
Yeah, he tried to talk, and it was like, nah. We have an agenda.
Well, we had a paladin, and then we had an orc. One of Dan actually, he was playing as an orc fighter, I think.
Yes.
And he was having none of that diplomacy shit.
Well, I mean, to be fair to him too, he was also being asked to be a slave.
That's
it wasn't
true.
even being asked; it was being demanded.
He's being
told.
He was made a slave almost.
Yeah. Until you guys came up.
Yeah, he was made a slave.
Yeah. That's
just too bad.
Yeah, it's Archfey for you. They're kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, if they want something, they'll go do it.
I don't like that guy. I didn't like that guy.
The Moonlit King.
He's a cocky bastard. I didn't like him.
The other thing about him I noticed, and I changed it myself, is technically he's like neutral good or something like that.
Is he?
And his wife is neutral evil.
What?
But his wife is the leader of the Fey Pantheon, and I was like, nah, I want to make her neutral, and I want to make him like lawful evil or neutral evil.
He seemed very neutral evil.
Yeah.
Why would he agree to that deal then, that if we beat him and we leave his kingdom? I was thinking about that after. Like, if you were lawful evil, that would kind of make sense.
A god shook on it. I don't know.
This is something to get us out of there.
Well, that, and like I said, they're weird. They don't really follow. I don't think he ever expected that you guys could have beat him, like, from DM to player. I think he thought this was going to be easy. And then when the Paladin 74'd him with the Banishing Smite and a 4th level Divine Smite, he's like, ooh, okay, that's scary. Yeah, he burned heal on himself and thought, ooh, this is going to be harder than I thought.
And those Paladins, though, they're good at killing. It bothers me.
Well, it doesn't hurt that he was playing a Devotion Paladin, and they were level, what, 15 at the time?
Yes.
Yeah,
so it's, I think 14 or 15.
15.
Yeah,
you guys just got
the
16.
6.
Yeah. So he just unlocked basically he always has the protection from evil and good spell on him. So every attack I had with every creature that we were fighting with that day, disadvantage on the Paladin, who already has a ridiculous 21 AC.
That's insane. I don't get what they were thinking when they designed the Paladin.
Ranged is not their friend.
Oh my god, that never comes into play. I mean, it could, but
it could have that fight if the Archfey wasn't being so cocky.
Like, can he fly?
He could teleport 100 feet. You saw how big that room was too.
Yeah, but in order to fight us, if he just kept leaving and leaving,
he could have just shot the Paladin down. I had that bolt, the Moonlight Bolt.
Right, but he could have done that with anybody. Like, we're all melee. The Paladin's just a better melee fighter.
Yeah, but you're quick.
Yeah, the Ranger's quicker.
Yeah, you could actually
get killed.
60, 120. You could go 120 feet in your move.
What?
No,
if
you use
dash,
Zephyr Strike and then use dash as a bonus action,
but you can't at the same time.
You can do it on 2 different turns.
True, but 2 different turns. I still don't see why. I would still take the Paladin over the Ranger in like most fights.
In that fight, I would.
Pretty much any fight. I don't see
Not the Knolls.
Oh yeah, I guess mobs and stuff like that. But I mean, the thing about that is like, yeah, the Ranger could deal with them quicker, but the Paladin would still deal with them and it would just take longer. The only thing that you have to worry about is getting
swarmed and overworked, I think. He would have. The thing about the Paladin, I find, is that they're really good at fighting something big and something dangerous.
I think they're good at fighting pretty much anything.
They're not very good with dealing with hordes up until they get like 17th level.
I don't know.
Because then they can get devastating wave or whatever.
Still such a big. They still have so many advantages though. you know,
save.
The saving
Which,
throws,
next
immunity to
level.
fear, can't get to poison. Well, not poison. You can get poison, but no
Diseased.
disease, which is
And you
kind
can
of
cure
cool.
poisons with like 5.
Yeah, and it's like
Hit
it's just
points
insane.
from your-
And then they get the spells too. On top of that, they get a bunch of
And
cool
their
spells.
smites.
I think
They're the
They s-
best melee class.
they seem a bit overpowered to me, is all
Yep.
in this
And
edition.
I think a DM has to really force home the fact that you have to play your tenets properly.
Yeah.
And make that like, hey, if you're not being the right kind of paladin, it will go away.
I think that is a good that is one
that has
ma-
to be the drawback.
Yeah, that is one. That's the only major drawback I can think
And
is
ranged.
I
That's
suppose.
the only other thing. Like a flying creature.
But you could still just pull out a bow.
Yeah, with what dexterity though?
Or no, pull out like a javelin or something.
Yeah, but how you hit him with one javelin, then what?
Then you attack him again with another javelin. Can't you declare divine smite only melee?
Only melee.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's only 2 smites in the game that can be used ranged, and they're not very good.
But here's the deal. Yes, say you're fighting a dragon. Yes, the paladin would have a hard time if the dragon lifted off, like hitting it. But literally everybody else is going to be scared out of their pants like the whole fucking time. So you know what I mean?
Well, the
Like,
thing is, you
it's
can repeat
annoying.
the save on your turn though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I fought my share of dragons, and every time I've spent the entirety of, unless I'm playing a paladin, I've spent pretty much the whole fight scared or in some crowd controlled in some other way.
They only have the okay. Well, layer is different.
Yeah, we are fighting in layers a lot.
If you're fighting in their layer, that's different. But if it was a dragon just straight outright, the only thing you really have to worry about is their frightful presence. Or we look at the Tome of Beasts, which we can get into if you want. That stuff is honestly, I really like a lot of the stuff in it, but it's under my biggest complaint is that everything is very powerful.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
They don't the challenge that they recommend. Even those pixies that you guys are fighting, the fairies.
Yeah,
those were CR5.
Yeah.
Which they didn't seem too bad, but if I used them,
plus they were invisible though, which
that's
is
the
annoying.
thing. If I used them as written and made them go invisible, like every turn attack used that thing, and the paladin was there once again because when those arrows hit, they have one of those random effects.
Yeah.
2 out of 4 of the random effects are just negated from either you being an elf can't be put to sleep,
right,
or the paladin can't be frightened.
Yeah, the paladin's
or charmed,
so overpowered.
And they couldn't use their charmed person at will either because the paladin
so overpowered. I think
and you're an elf, so they have advantages on those.
Elves are just pretty good in general too. Yeah. But I do think the paladin is a bit overpowered, especially comparing it to other editions where they're powerful but not. It's just that all the other stuff is fine, like the immunity to fear, the saving throws, everything. But divine smite is ridiculous.
It's good.
I guess there's only the only two drawbacks are like the long rest thing, and then you have to act if you're seriously playing D&D, then you'd have to stick with your tenets.
range shit.
And your range. So you have 3 kind of drawbacks, but I mean they seem minor in comparison to the drawbacks of other classes. That's the other thing, like they are drawbacks, but other classes drawbacks seem a lot worse.
Give me an example.
Well, I think
sorcerer.
The sorcerer. I don't know enough about this. I
We
don't
can
play
get
the
into
sorcerer.
That.
We'll get
I will
into
tell
it
you
in
about
a
the
second.
one I was playing soon.
We'll get into it in a second.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with the classes that I usually play. So I generally, when I play D&D, I'll play paladin, I'll play fighter, I'll play ranger, and I'll occasionally try rogue. Right.
Yep.
So these are kind of the ones I play. Pretty much all the ones that don't do magic.
Yeah. Well, or like half casters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I play half casters, but that's
fair.
About it. But I find that in comparison to the paladin, the fighter is good, but they're not as good. Because I usually play a melee fighter, and the fighter is almost like a lesser version of the paladin. Now, the one thing that they do have over the paladin is they gain everything back on a short rest, and they get more attacks, which is nice. But the thing is, why make more attacks if you can hit like a truck in 2? That's the only thing that bothers me.
The thing is, I think you can build better fighters than paladins. The problem with that is it's so much easier to play a paladin.
That is true.
You can do
true.
A paladin can do what a fighter does, but way easier. It doesn't take nearly as much. Fighters get a lot of ability score increases, so they get more feats, they get more attacks, they have their things on a short rest, and with action surge and things like that.
I do like
it's
that.
It's very good, but I think if you wanted to make something that could beat a paladin, like just straight up in like a fight,
It'd
that
be
would
easier
last,
to make another paladin.
honestly, yes, because unless if you're going maybe Sentinel Polearm Master, the paladin's going to get up to you and smite you.
Great Weapon Master is nice too, but like, and you're right. There's a bit more like
Paladins
the one
get
thing
the
I
Great
like.
Weapon Fighter thing too.
I know they
but
can do that,
they can
but
take Great Weapon Master to defeat too.
but then you're blowing a feat, which for a paladin
is
is
a
more
big
of a
deal.
yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing
That's
about
the other
paladins.
thing.
I was going to say too. They don't get.
Well, they're
If
multi-attribute dependent.
Yeah, unless if you guys are rolling for stats or you're playing like, with good stats or maybe a variant human, you will have maybe 1 or 2 feats at most.
That's a good point. Like, we did play with like good stat. Last time we played it was with good stats.
Silas has 1 feat, and it's
Yeah.
resilient con, so
Yeah.
that he gets better con saves and it bumps his con up to an even number. That's
and I
it.
think I still, it's just that Divine Smite is so good. Like, here's the deal:
It's
if we
the second best, it's my opinion for the second best burst damage in the game.
Yeah.
Like behind the rogues
be a sneak attack, which is nice too.
Yeah, well,
But
it's because it's just so
I have
consistent.
a thing about rogues too, but
Yeah.
we'll get that in a minute here. But I do think that, like I was thinking either Divine Smite should be a bit less powerful, like less D8s or something, or like I guess if you're playing, this is mostly on the DM, but if you actually had scenarios where you don't have time to long rest after a big battle and you have to keep going, then you get to the point where a ranger or a rogue or a fighter is like pretty valuable, because like I said, fighters short rest and you're good to go, and then rangers, I know rangers at least, it's not like your spells, sure, but I mean, you don't have to wait for a long rest to make use of most of your stuff.
I agree. I think we've been good for that the last few sessions too.
What do you mean?
Like when we've played, I know we played with the Knoll thing and we played last session. I don't think I gave opportunity for a long rest. For
But
things.
then you can kind of play it. You can kind of hold back with the. You know what I mean, right? Like,
absolutely. It's something that I found our older group didn't do as well.
Yeah. We've had some trouble with that sort of stuff.
Nothing against the group. It's just like we could long rest very easily, and even short rests I find were almost too easy.
I don't mind that. I just like it was definitely. Well, the last one I found that was just really geared towards like the paladin in the party last time we were playing.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all are listening, you know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. But I don't know, and I think it's easy to make things easy for a paladin character, if you know what I mean.
Well,
like,
especially considering that a paladin has to play a certain way. I think it's easy for a DM to go around that.
Or it gets really screwed over because you're playing with a bunch of chaotic neutral psychopaths. That doesn't help either. No. I had that happen to me recently. It was horrible.
Was that? Oh yes, please do tell.
No, I played some D&D with a new group, and it didn't go so well for me. Like, I didn't have the most fun with it. Kind of just spent the whole time doing nothing and like making weird jokes and shit.
Yeah.
And just Paladin wasn't fitting in with that group, I don't think. Everyone was just kind of like a murder hobo.
And just wasn't the thing for you?
Just wasn't the thing for me,
Which happens. I mean, I used to play a long, long time ago at this local place. I used to live by there, and we used to play all the time, and I had this really good group, but eventually a lot of them ended up moving on. I kept going back for a few sessions after, and I ended up joining this other group, and it was very murder hobo-y, and I was pretty young at the time. It was like they'd kill things, or they'd want to like... We were all pretty young and immature too, but they'd be like, I want to go try to seduce this person, bring them back to
That's
my
pretty
room.
frustrating.
And I was just like, okay, I guess we're not going to be doing anything advancing the story today. And after about 3 or 4 sessions, I'm like, hey guys, I got a new job, so I'm not going to play. I won't be able to make it out anymore. And
but did you get to play the game, though?
What?
I literally didn't roll. I think I rolled 3 d20s for 3 hours.
Yeah. So, I know. It's not too bad.
It just depends. Like,
it's just not for what I want to do.
Yeah, expectation is a big thing, like we've discovered over the years here. It's like a big thing is what you want to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And like I know for us too, we like a bit of role play. We like to get stuff done. You know what I mean?
Last session I played, it was actually a ton of role play. Like I played with this other group. We're doing this thing in the League of Legends sort of universe with this DM, and we did a ton of role play last time. We had one encounter and we started at like 9 o'clock and we finished around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we only had one encounter.
See, I think I like what I've kind of discovered about myself is I definitely like I don't want to play as a murder hobo. Like I like to have a purpose for what I'm doing, have like an objective, have a story, have moments where I can let my character shine through. But I do like a brisk pace.
Yeah.
Like I like to do stuff. Like I don't enjoy like I've enjoyed them before. Like we've had sessions where all we do is talk and role play for an hour, like 2 hours, 3 hours, and it's been fun. But for the most part, that bores me. Like after a while, like if I don't have an encounter within like I like to have an encounter like or at least a couple of them for every few hour session. Like I like to do stuff.
Yeah, we did one too. Yeah, but I understand. The thing was that I liked about this, at least in particular, was we were playing and it felt like it was nice and it wasn't too like the characters. What happened was we ended up going from last session was I was playing this character, a sorcerer, and I had just been banished because basically I live in this city. It was a large kingdom that doesn't accept magic because the history of the kingdom was that their ancient home was blown up by a bunch of magic.
Oh, well, that would fucking do it. There you go.
And so I was playing a sorcerer, and I kept it pretty hidden. My brother was being tailored to become... another player at the table was supposed to be this... he's supposed to become the new head of the house, and we come from a family of mage hunters.
Oh.
It's a little ironic.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, but anyways, something happens to the town, and basically what's going to happen is someone is going to blow up the new kingdom like they did the old one, and we discover the plot, and the only way that we can stop it is basically blowing it up ourselves, kind of thing, because there's no way we could have fought off what was coming.
All right.
So I was like, okay, as a wild magic sorcerer, I'm going to try to do some crazy wacky shit and get everybody out of the city, or at least take the explosion myself. I don't know. And the city blew up, but I teleported every living thing in the city out of it. And then I was out for 3 months.
Oh.
But I got banished for doing so.
Oh.
So instead of being killed outright, the king's like, yeah, he's banished. We're not life for a life. And then my brother, another player at the table, was like, screw this kingdom. I'm going to protect him.
Okay.
So, but we did that, and we did do one encounter, but we did a lot of role play, which was like a lot of things like building our character relations. And while the DM was working with a character to develop things, we'd take like an aside, like myself and another player. We'd go aside and we'd have a conversation in character to build the relationship, rather than just sitting and not doing.
Well, we've done things like that before, and it usually like I find it gets kind of confusing. Like when we have people doing asides while other people do other things.
We tended to just go off. Like we wouldn't be listening to the DM. Like,
right.
We would have the DM sitting at the table with the one player doing whatever the important thing is with this NPC that we ran into. For myself and say the character that was playing my brother, we'd get up, we'd go grab ourselves a glass of water, and we'd role play a conversation.
Ah, nerds.
It was fun.
No, it actually does sound.
It was
fun.
actually really good. Like
it sounds like that group would be good, and we've struggled to get a group with us for Lord of the Rings. Were you thinking the same thing?
They would do a good job with Lord of the Rings, and one of them in particular really wants to play. Actually, two of them want to play Star Wars.
Well, hook me up. I would like to do Lord of the Rings first of all.
I'd like to do that as well.
And I would do a Star Wars campaign or whatever. That'd be fun too.
No, it's really good. You'd like them. I feel like we should get you in on them.
Yeah, you gotta hook me up.
Yeah. The only thing is, right now we're doing League of Legends. I don't know if you'd be into the lore of it.
I don't know enough about it. I don't really care to learn about it.
The nice thing about the lore of it is it's super duper general. Like there's not a lot on it, so we make up a lot of our stuff.
Okay.
Which is good. So you could make up a lot.
That's cool. I would like to do. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do League of Legends. I like my Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
Custom campaign settings could be interesting. I'd be willing to give that a go too.
Yeah.
And I think I'd like to do
fairly custom.
Middle Earth if we can get a serious group about it.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars is easier, which is fun too.
Everybody can get
no
into
Ewoks. I would ban them.
Depends
I hate Ewoks.
I feel like it depends on what era you play.
Nope,
as well.
no Ewoks.
You don't like the Ewok?
Fuck Ewoks.
Yeah, why not?
Oh my god, they're so stupid. Well, first of all, I've had a bad experience.
Which one?
With Ewoks. I'm sorry. You know who I'm talking about. Play Ewoks. That's stupid. They weren't good characters. Second thing, I think they're dumb.
What, the Ewok in general? Like the topic of why they beat the
How
Imperials?
the hell did they beat the Stormtroopers?
They shouldn't
That's
have.
so stupid. They were
sold
cute.
more toys, though.
Ah, that's
George
so dumb.
Lucas is like, it's the magic of Hasbro.
It's the only problem. It's like the only problem with that movie. It's like, how the hell did... I don't even mind the Ewoks existing.
Yeah.
Like, as a race. Like, okay, there's a little bear people.
And
that's
helping
fine.
makes sense, but I don't think that the...
Yeah.
It wasn't even like there was like maybe 2 squads of rebels or something that took over that base.
Yeah.
And not even like maybe a squad of rebels and a couple of the heroes.
How did they?
And a bunch of Ewoks.
How did they
beat
do it?
like a battalion of
Apparently,
like,
the best troops. The Emperor said.
yeah, I know.
My best troop, my
My
battalion
best
of my
troops.
best troops await them on the moon.
Yeah.
No, apparently not.
Well, I mean, if you play Battlefront, don't they explore that on Endor in the beginning of the campaign?
Like the new one?
Yeah.
I haven't played the campaign, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but even
I think they do, but it's still. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't
You
like
don't
them.
play. You don't play that game.
Hate
for the,
Ewoks.
Yeah.
I hate Ewoks. I would ban
I
them
don't.
permanently.
I don't have as big an issue with them, but I don't like. Yeah, I don't like how the fact that they basically beat
the finest troops of the Empire, the finest stormtroopers,
with some logs and rocks,
spears,
Yeah.
bow and arrows. Come on,
Yeah.
that's BS.
And have you ever played the old Battlefront 2, where it'd have like the different like factions against each other, where you could do like the Tusken Raiders versus
Yeah.
the Jawas, and you could do the
Didn't the
Stormtroopers
Ewoks
versus the
insta
Ewoks.
kill guys with spears?
You could kill somebody with like 3 rocks to the head, and they were
Oh,
hard
man.
to hit because they were so tiny. It's
That's
like
stupid. I hate Ewoks.
I loved playing as them because man, it was the troopers. They'd have such a hard time shooting them in the map, and it's just like
Man.
they kill so quick. But yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I hate
Unless
Ewoks.
they have like strength of 1,000 men or something. I don't know.
I hate Ewoks almost as much as I hate Episode 8. So
You
there
don't
you
like
go.
Episode 8
I
already? that bad?
still don't. No, it's not that bad. I just wanted to say something funny, but
Yeah.
like, take that to the bank.
Really?
Right there. I hate Episode 8. No, I don't hate it.
I hate them.
I hate them. I hate sand.
I hate them more than I hate sand people.
Yeah, I should have said I hate it more than I hate sand.
Yeah, you
Just
don't
the-
like sand?
No,
Of course.
and rough and
And
irritating.
it gets everywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, you know we watch too
Not
much
like,
Star Wars.
not like Padme.
Oh, God.
Pick up lines.
Oh, I don't even
But anyway,
love that George Lucas dialogue.
It's never had good dialogue. I just don't like Ewoks. Whatever. It just seems inconsistent within that world.
It is.
It's one thing that. But cat, get off this screen.
Cheddar.
Yeah, my cat's climbing up my screen door
Want me
right
to
now.
grab her?
I can go grab her.
Okay.
Give me a sec. I have
Well-
to get my water anyway.
No
Get down,
problem.
cat.
What I was also going to say earlier is my experience with the sorcerer. I wanted to talk about a little bit since we're on the topic of Dungeons and Dragons. I was playing a sorcerer, and it was a wild magic sorcerer, which already is going to raise some eyebrows because, well, the sorcerer itself, we'll get into that, but the wild magic sorcerer, I really like the concept of it, like a character that's got this sort of untapped potential like in its magic, but it's also hard to control. It's really cool and it can make for some zany stuff. Like for example, our first encounter ever, we're supposed to have this dramatic entrance of one of our player characters.
Right.
And we're introducing our story, and my guy has a spell backfire thing and summons a unicorn that fights with us.
It's too zany.
It was very, zany, but I do like the mechanics of the class, and you can really do some useful stuff. Like another time we were in this camp, and I had casted a spell, and my wild magic went off, and I ended up being able to cast a 5th level magic missile
Okay.
at will, and it popped off another guy.
Ooh.
Which I'm like, hey, that's really useful.
So yeah, it throws a interesting kind of variable into things.
It does, and I like that, but it also, there's a mechanic of it, goodness, I can't remember what it's called, Tides of Chaos, the 1st level ability, where basically, when you use it, you can gain advantage on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. But when you do use it, your ability, usually if you're a wild magic sorcerer, you cast any spell over 1st level, roll a d20. On a 1, something happens. The DM can tell you, basically, after you've used Tides of Chaos, whenever something happens. But if the DM decides not for you to use, when you use Tides of Chaos and just forgets to tell you about it, it becomes a really weak ability. It comes back on a long rest or after something weird happens with your magic. So the DM and I had worked something out that it's a 1 when I cast a regular spell and something happens. But after I used Tides of Chaos, it's a 1 to 5. that
Yeah.
something happens. So it goes from being a 1 in 20 chance to a 1 in 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it makes it a lot better,
Yeah.
and then it can come back, and it's really helped out. But if the DM doesn't do that already, the class is at a major disadvantage.
Yeah, so you kind of have to rely on it.
It's very DM dependent.
You have a reasonable DM.
So-
Although, when you think about it, the whole thing is the whole game, really.
Absolutely.
You're right.
but
You're
there
right
are-
about that specifically.
That
but-
and the other thing I found is just summoning magic, because the rules is written. It seems like you should be able to decide what creatures you want to bring in, but rules as intended is actually the DM decides.
Okay.
So if the DM is like, no, I want you to, what creatures do you want to bring in? We can bring those in. Summoning is really good. If the DM is like, no, I'm going to decide what creatures show up. Like, you can choose whether or not you want maybe 1 CR2 character to come in or 8 CR, half level characters to come in.
Okay.
But the DM decides which ones come in.
Okay.
So it makes things a lot worse if you want to play a summoner with a DM that brings in random stuff. For
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah,
I could see
so
that happening.
That's the other thing about that. So already it's very DM dependent. And 2, I'm 5th level as a sorcerer,
Yeah.
and I get to know 6 spells. Total. All
Total.
of them.
Oh,
all of them.
wait,
I have
that's
3rd level
it?
spell slots. I have 6 spells.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
But don't you get them back on a short rest?
Long
though?
rest.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
too
like
bad.
the Warlock. And the Warlock even
that's
gets more than that.
I was thinking Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that I noticed with the Sorcerer, maybe they only get to learn... They only get to know, by the time they're max level, they know 15 different spells. Wizards start with 6 and get 2 every level, plus
Yeah.
can scry in more.
Yeah, but
But
it seems harder to play for a wizard.
definitely... I wouldn't say so.
See, I don't have any, just for everyone who knows, I don't have any experience with the full
Yeah.
casters, really, because it's not really my thing. Never
Yeah.
been really into mages and things like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I find the thing with the Sorcerer is, though, it's really tough to build your spell list,
Yeah.
because you can only choose up to 15 by the end of the game. But having said that, you get flexible casting, where you can basically, you have these sorcery points, you can spend them and get spell slots back. Or the other thing that you should be using them for is you can take your spell slots, turn them into sorcery points, and spend said points on meta magic.
All right.
Meta magic allows you to do really cool things, like, say, the spell haste.
Yeah.
You know how it's concentration and it gives you some really good benefits.
Yes.
You can only cast on one person at a time.
Okay, but can you do it with more if you do meta magic?
Meta
or-
magic, there's one called Twin Spell. You can cast it twice.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
That'd
you
be
can
cool.
haste 2 people for 1 concentration.
Ooh,
And
nice.
it's really good.
That is
They're the
awesome.
only class that can do that.
Yeah.
They can also quicken spells. So say you want to cast a fireball, right? But you've used your action to use a cantrip of some sort. Maybe to use a mage hand to grab something from an enemy. Bonus action, you can use your sorcery points to quicken it. 2
Okay.
sorcery points. You can cast a fireball as a bonus action.
Okay.
So you can
Interesting.
really get into some spell slinging, and it's really, really good.
Okay. See, yeah, I probably should try classes like that out. You know what I mean?
And
Just
there's
to
less
give it a
spells
go.
to manage.
Yeah, which it might be good for me
Yeah.
to get into the full casting. There's something about just the overall fantasy of it that I don't really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just flinging spells. I don't know. It's just
Depends
not
on
my
what you
thing.
want to do too.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because I know I only play like I said 4 classes really, and it's I don't know. A lot of the other ones just don't really appeal to me. Just the
Yeah.
fantasy of it. I'm sure the mechanics are fun.
Yeah,
but
I'd say I know it's probably not up your alley for just the fantasy and the roleplay of it, but I know if you actually wanted to do it, you'd probably enjoy it. Like the mechanics is
Yeah.
the bard, because they're
this
a really
guy's up.
well. The nice thing about the bard is they get a set number of spells known like the sorcerer, but
Yeah.
they get more of them. And they can also learn spells from other classes. They get all sorts of buffs and debuffs. They're really useful, and I feel like and they could be basically anything. You could be a melee bard that runs into battle, buffs
Yeah.
himself and his allies, and his
Which
attacks and
I'd
damage.
considered. What is that? College of Blades, I think. Is
You
that
can
the one
use
I'm thinking?
blades or College of... There's the
There was
College
that
of
other
Swords
one.
and the College of... There's the Lore and Valor.
Ah, that's the
You
one
could
I
do
was
Valor
thinking.
or Blades.
Yeah, which would
Yeah.
be cool. I eventually might try that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
The mechanics around it is that you'd have to be basically, maybe not even an entertainer, but like a storyteller.
Yeah.
You'd have to... Bardic
I'd have to be
inspiration.
very charismatic.
Yes, exactly. Oh, this reminds me of the tale of blah 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 of when so and so.
Kelgar the Black.
Yes, and Kelgar the Black went and slew a dragon all by himself. simply with him and his trusty sidearm. Whatever it was.
What a heroic man.
Yes, and basically there's
Yeah, I
your
know.
inspiration.
Yeah, you'd
but
have
you'd
to
have
do
to
shit
role
like
play
that.
it. Yeah.
We haven't done inspiration for a while.
Like
the mechanic. I don't think we've done it. We just don't touch it usually.
usually we're pretty good about just role playing.
You gotta
but
really care
Bardic
about
inspiration is different.
Oh, sorry. I thought. Yeah.
That's where you
inspiration.
basically are like, hey, remember Zanstairs do better?
Yeah.
That's a Bardic
That's
inspiration.
Bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot
So,
about that.
Yeah.
Zanstare. That guy.
He was interesting.
Hey, he's cool.
He was alright.
He's okay.
He got better after he got whacked.
He got killed. Yeah, we had one session where everybody died. It was party fighting.
It was a party infight, and only two things survived.
Me.
And Raven, the sellsword ranger, basically.
That's right. I forgot about her too.
Yeah. Everyone else got whacked.
Good times, much to the dismay of like 3/4.
I was at the time. I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's like, why'd you do that?
You're like, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
I fucked up on the spell too.
I'm taking back my ship.
Yeah. No, I don't. To be fair, I fucked up on how fear worked, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah, it was
in,
fun. It's
in
always
retrospect,
fun.
it's like
Good story.
it is a good story.
It's a good story.
But anyways, back to my sorcerer. Wow, they are so good at what they do. And to be fair, I rolled really well. But there's this spell in Xanathar's guide called Chaos Bolt.
Right.
Where basically you roll a spell attack. If you hit, you roll 2d8 and a d6.
All right.
And then you can add another d6 per spell level, right?
Ooh, there
Which
we go.
is nice. But when you roll the 2d8, depending on what you roll on the d8s determines the damage type.
Right.
So, yeah, but and you can choose one of the two. So say I roll a 1 and an 8.
Yeah.
A 1 would be like acid damage, and 8 would be thunder damage. So I could choose what kind of damage it does out of those two. But if you roll two numbers of the same,
yeah,
it bounces to another target within 30 feet of it.
Oh,
you
that's
make
cool.
another spell.
That's interesting.
So you don't get to choose the type. So say I roll 2 3s or 2 4s. 2 4s is fire damage.
Yeah.
But it will do the fire damage to him,
then
bounces
bounce
to another guy.
guy.
We had this thing of invisible archers basically coming up and shooting at us, and we had no idea what to do because we can't see them, and I didn't have seen visibility or anything like that. We saw one.
And then you bounced, and you bounced
I bounced it from him to another, to another, to another.
Wait, how do you keep? Wait, how can you do multiple bounces?
Every time it rolls doubles on the d8s,
so
it
you
bounces
just
to
got
a new
lucky.
target.
So
Yep.
you got lucky.
It was super duper lucky.
Okay,
And
that's
the
cool.
DM
though.
was like, "What?" It felt really cool because as like a player, I'm like, "This shouldn't be happening." I rolled like
But
two
it did.
2s,
But
I
it
rolled
did.
2 7s, I rolled 2 3s, and then I was like, "We just revealed like 5 out of the 8 guys from just one spell."
How convenient.
It was really nice.
That's awesome though.
And it felt super cool,
See-
and that's never gonna happen
See
again.
cool shit
but-
like that happening.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And then being able to, we also play with the house rule. You know how the rule is: you can only cast like one spell, and then you can cast a cantrip, but you can't
yeah.
cast multiple spells per turn.
Yeah, okay.
We don't do that at our table
okay.
because people
So
like,
no,
yeah,
people
it's
like
kind of
casting
annoying.
spells.
So I got when you get to cast 2 fireballs in one turn with an action, and then your bonus action you quicken another fireball.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was fun.
Big dick damage.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I was really good at dealing with, like at spell slinging like I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But it was also like leveling up is so difficult because I'm like, I don't know what spell I want, and I really have to choose.
Okay.
I wouldn't give them, if I was to do a sorcerer, and if I was DMing, I think 15 spells at max level is a bit too little. I'd probably bump it up to maybe 16 to 18. Because 15 is so limiting.
Okay.
But I understand why they did it, what they did though.
Yeah.
It's a cool class, fun to play, and I wish that there was more. That and the subclasses are cool,
But not that cool or what? Not great.
The ones from Xanathar's are really good, but if your DM forgets about it, wild magic sucks.
Okay.
And
yeah.
So then you're stuck playing a draconic sorcerer, which is cool. I like them, but I don't like every sorcerer of mine it comes from some sort of draconic bloodline ancestry, or maybe even a dragon's magic had somehow tainted your blood.
I see what you're saying. Maybe you could do a homebrew thing.
Yeah,
Do something
but
cool.
favorite soul's cool. You're basically like a chosen of a god,
Right.
and they get to choose. You still only get 15 spells. Actually, they get an extra 1, so they get 16 spells.
Okay.
But they can choose from the sorcerer class or the cleric class when they choose spells.
Oh, it's kind of... Well, you have a bit more, like, flexibility there then.
And so they got some cool stuff. Shadow sorcerers are just the best at slinging spells because they have They can spend 2 sorcery
Are
points
they-
to cast darkness.
Are they evil? Like
Neutral.
fluff-wise?
They'd be neutral.
Neutral? Okay.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them get their stuff from the Shadow Isles. Or not
Okay.
Shadow Isles. That's League of Legends. From
Right.
the Shadowfell.
Okay.
So not necessarily evil, but a lot of neutral stuff.
Kind of like ambiguous, maybe.
like the Void Elves.
Oh, yeah, well,
kinda thing.
The Shader Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Man, you said Shadow. I immediately jumped to my Oath of Conquest. I know it's not Shadow, but I would like to try that eventually.
What?
An Oath of Conquest Paladin.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be awesome.
I think
as we've
mechanics-wise, they're really
Mechanics-wise, they're great. As we discussed before, it's pretty much a problem with
For
any
roleplay?
party almost. You'd have to like.
You'd have to have like, hey, I think we could do it if we just played us two, or maybe like
Oh,
us
I agree.
two with like a smaller group of people. But it'd be like, hey, you guys recognize that he's your like, he was leading you, and you're basically his underlings or something
Or
like
you'd
that.
have to have a really good reason to work together.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked, like we have, like I guess Will, one of our friends there, was arguing that you could play him neutral. I don't know.
I mean,
It'd be very difficult.
you could
I'd
up
say.
to a point.
You have to be very hard lawful.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you're just like, for all intents and purposes, like you'd need every Yeah, you meet like every definition of evil.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
You don't
Even
just
if you
don't
don't
just defeat your enemies. You have to demoralize them.
Even if you don't consider yourself evil because you have like like what you think would be a righteous goal, like bringing order to like the I don't know, to the realms or
which
something.
in retrospect we totally have an Oath of Conquest paladin.
Yeah, Darian.
Yeah. Darian
Karn, my Oathbreaker, is just an Oath of Conquest paladin.
Because he was a Oathbreaker before we had Oath of Conquest.
That's
out.
true.
So he's
Oath.
I mean, as far as mechanics would go, he'd probably be an Oath of Conquest. He's
Well,
pretty
even
cool.
no, but roleplay from his roleplay,
he'd
he's
be an
Oath of Conquest. Yeah,
But yeah, we kind of have one, and he's really cool.
he is really cool.
But he does not get along with the party.
No, he does not. He's already
Ask him-
killed. He's already
ask about
killed
the
one.
Eladrin.
Yeah,
Or
he
the
killed.
Eladrin.
He killed an Eladrin that went into his house and fucked with him.
Yep. He didn't just kill him.
No, he got
He
tortured.
tortured him
Like
and made
mutilated
an example of
him.
him.
Yeah, it was terrible.
He was interesting.
Yeah,
He is interesting.
he's cool.
He's
Play as him again. That'd be fun.
yeah. Well, I mean, depends on where we are, but he is.
Interesting.
In one storyline,
Oh.
he is.
He's a god now.
He's not a god.
He's trying to be a god.
He's immortal.
He's undead. Yeah.
And I don't think he can
He
be
became
killed by like mortals.
He became a Death Knight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. If you guys know what that is, which is basically like a paladin who is basically broken his oath.
Not necessarily a paladin, I thought. Is it?
Yeah, it's a fallen paladin.
Oh, okay.
That did something in life so treacherous that eventually they just can't die. Their soul doesn't leave, and they're eternally tormented.
Similar
to
to a revenant, except revenants have goals.
Yeah,
I think is the point.
Yeah, this one, and he's basically dead until he atones.
Yeah, which he never will.
Nope.
I ain't
Because
atoning.
he believes what he is doing is right. and
That is
he
correct.
is so driven to get it done.
But to get back to that morality thing, like, yeah, like I said, for all you I think you pretty much have to be evil because, like, what was the last tenet?
both of those, yeah.
Douse the flame of hope. That's
We could
terrible.
go through them, but yeah, they're pretty.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah. The other one I find
What's the other one?
that's hard to play is also in Xanathar's Oath of Redemption.
Yeah, that's just kind of like because your
I love
party
it,
wants to
but
fight guys.
It depended on your
sometimes.
party. And man, when we were playing that one with your Shadow Kai, and we literally had like a hobgoblin warrior who was like, "No, I kill for glory," you know. And then we
Yeah.
had this Oath of Redemption paladin who's like, "We can't kill these people."
And we're
they're
like, yeah, we can. It's easy.
We want to fight though.
We had two fighters and a guy who didn't want to fight.
Oh man, that
So
was
then
so
it was a
tough.
funny mix.
It was kind of funny, and like I said, for the way that we dealt with everything, it was quite funny. But
Yeah, I think so. It's just like, yeah, it's not a great mix of
No.
characters,
it
but
didn't mix very well, but it was fun.
that was fun. That was cool. It's fun when you get to play and just, good solid DMing stuff
Yeah.
like that,
No, it's good
and
too.
expectations.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yep.
think, like I said, you should. I'll see what I can do about getting you into our group, and we'll try something that's maybe more Forgotten Realms.
That'd be cool. It
something
doesn't
like
even
that.
have to be that. I don't think I'd enjoy League of Legends.
Well, the thing is, we don't use a lot of the lore, like in-game stuff. We use like the places and some of like the ideas. So there's like a city in particular that mixes like magic and tech. So there's like a hex tech place.
Yeah.
We didn't start there. We started in basically the kingdom that's against magic. A bunch of paladins and warriors.
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I think you'd like them. There's like a cutthroat place that's basically like it's kind of like Luskin.
I guess.
And there's another place that's basically like all Oath of Conquest.
Well, like I said, I
leaders.
just I don't know. I don't really want to learn the League of Legends lore. It just doesn't
That's
really
the other
appeal
thing,
to
though.
me.
You wouldn't have to know much. We could probably fill you in on where we're going and what it's about.
Right.
But it's mostly yeah.
As long as I'm not ridden in as like tied to a bed
No.
against my will.
Is that how you were written
It's
in?
so stupid, Brenden.
What?
Yeah, it didn't give me any background, and then everyone just made a bunch of like rape jokes and shit.
Really?
Not rape jokes, but just like, oh, I wonder what happened to you, and just like stuff like
You
that.
were tied to a bed.
Yeah, in a
as
dungeon.
A paladin.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened.
That's such a
Wasn't
shitty
given any.
way to
I wasn't
ruin-
given any background, so I just kind of went with it.
So the players,
And then
hey, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you said that the players and you guys had spent a lot of time shopping in the session, and that was basically it.
pretty much it. Yeah.
So how the hell did you get caught in a bed of a dungeon?
No, this was at
while
the
you
very
were
beginning.
shot?
At the very beginning.
So they were just finishing a dungeon?
Yes, I came in at the very end.
Why didn't they introduce you in the town?
That would have made more sense, but instead don't know.
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea. And they're like, how'd you get here? And I'm like, DM, what do I know? And she just shrugs. I'm like, oh, well, all right. I got
sorry.
jumped on the road,
I'm
I
so
guess. I have no
sorry.
memory of this.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. To be fair, there's a bunch of new players.
Okay,
There's guys
well,
who are like
that's fair.
just learned their. Well, they've been playing for a while, so you'd think they'd know a bit more. But yeah, they're still learning the game.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And like,
Yeah.
I think I can come across as an elitist sometimes. You know what I mean with D&D because I'm very. Not,
Perhaps.
I think I'm kind of. Well, yeah. I
say
think
with a
I'm
smirk.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure I scared off a player.
You did once.
Sorry, Katie.
I'm sure she forgives you.
Yeah, we went halvesies on a deck now, so
Yeah.
I hope we're good.
No, and like I said, that one. That was
pretty-
also poor planning, and also we also all had different expectations
That was
at the
pretty
time.
funny though.
In
Just
retrospect,
explain what happened to him,
Okay.
Brenden. Explain what happened, because we can talk. This is with our group of friends, and
Yeah.
we've already talked about it. It's hilarious.
So at the time, we're playing this campaign with this new DM, and to be fair, I thought he was doing a really great job
I
with
think so,
everything he had
too.
to work with. We were
I
playing
think
with a ton of people,
Yeah.
a lot of rotating cast,
He did a good job. He
and
did a good
characters
job.
that shouldn't really have been traveling together because they were so dynamic. We had comedy characters with serious characters and everything in between.
We basically had like a bunch of stand-up comics and Judge Dredd,
Yeah.
which was
And then, we had
obviously not going well together.
Yeah, we had my guy who wants to do I want to do some pretty serious role play, and I have a lot of backstory. We had Judge Dredd who's like, let's just get
that was
shit
me,
done.
by the way. I was
Yeah.
essentially Judge Dredd, and by the way, I only became Let's Get Shit Done
Because
after we got so distracted.
Yeah, and we had a dwarf artificer.
Artificer, because he put it on his underwear.
He was an artificer who put artificer on his underwear.
Now imagine Judge Dredd walking into a room and he sees a dwarf bent over with artificer stitched into his undergarments.
Yes, and we had a
Anyway.
we had two half elves. One of them being basically a jokester. The other one being kind of serious.
No, he just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and the other one
I
was
know
kind
Will
of serious.
checked out.
And then
He's admitted it.
yeah, and nobody. So half of the party was there to make jokes. Two of them were there to make jokes. One of them was there because she wanted to play. One of them was there, which was myself, was really heavily into the role play.
Yeah.
And then yourself was, we want to get shit done in advance.
I
things
tried
because
to be into the role play, and then I just kind of got
tired of it.
I got tired.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of I kind of clocked in.
Yeah,
You know,
like
and I can admit
checked
that.
out a little bit.
It's like, okay, I ignore your description. I move forward.
Yeah,
and
because
then,
we
had
had a lot of players too.
Yeah,
and
we
there's a
had
lot of rotating cast.
Well, I really do think that 4 is the max I'll play with. Like 3 or 4 players is the max I'll play with.
4 or 5 is like
Nope.
optimal to me.
Too many.
Like I said, I don't like doing more than 5.
Yeah, but anyway, let's go back to that story.
Anyways,
though.
back to the story. So
And we
we're
had
playing with this party. We got this Oath of the Crown.
I was Oath of the Crown, yes.
Yeah, paladin who wants to get shit done. We had a grave cleric who was probably more edgy than he should have been, but I didn't feel like I was playing him edgy because I feel like
you
I was
were
trying to-
taking it serious, and other people were.
yeah, we had 2 wizards that were, one of them was just seriously comic relief. The other one was kind of, I didn't mind Johanna's character.
Yeah,
Besides
I don't
the
know.
weird little phoenix thing.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Yeah, and then we had the artificer, who also was just there
No,
for
that
comedy.
was the comedy one. No,
Yeah.
and then Will and I both just checked. We
Yeah.
clocked in and we're
Yeah.
just showing up.
So, but anyways, we're going through this thing, and we're hunting down this man who had betrayed the Paladin's order. We've already hunted him down, and he's already been killed, much to the dismay of some people of the party, but we've made the choice, and he was executed.
That was cool.
I honestly thought it was a good
That was a
roleplay moment, too.
That was a cool moment.
I also
that
did-
actually went really well.
Yeah, but then another person, a rotating cast member, was written in. It was a Air Ganassi rogue.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was a
some
rogue
mercenary.
scout.
Just okay. But here's the deal. Now this is where I take over. So, is one of the play. So as a player,
She's new.
New player kind of. Well, she'd been playing for a while at this point and still didn't know the rules. But
I
don't know how
wouldn't
long
say
she's
a
been
while.
playing.
She only played like maybe, I'd say at most. She didn't even play more than 5
That's
sessions.
actually fair.
She maybe played 4 sessions.
That's a
with
good
us.
point. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was
And
straight up. I was a dick.
well, and
I didn't mean to, but I was a dick.
And not even just your fault in this. Everyone after this session, we had a conversation about
That's
this because
true.
everybody was frustrated with how the session went.
That's true.
Which is fair. It was not, and it was nothing against the DM. Like I said, his was his first time. He had a very interesting story.
It was.
And I'd play it again. It was just a lot of things,
Yeah.
different expectations.
This is what happened though. She came in and she'd like she just wanted to like be casual and play, so she didn't give a lot of thought to like their background or anything like that. She's a mercenary or something. So she just pops up in the bush. So the DM introduced her. She pops up into the bush or the woods that we were traveling through.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm playing this annoying character, so I'm like, "Hey, like, who are you? Like, where do you come from?
Yeah.
State your business." You're like, "Oh, I'm a mercenary. My name's this," and I'm like, "Okay, what are you here for?
And
why are you in the middle of the forest?"
So,
And then I believe like the DM had told her like she'd been working for like
your
my
organization.
my organization as a mercenary, and
Yeah.
then I was just like, "Pfft,
Bullshit.
bullshit is basically what I said. My character, I think in character, I said something to the effect of,
We don't work with
we don't
mercenaries.
work with mercenaries. That couldn't possibly be true. Why are you really here?"
So they-
And then she got all flabbergasted, like out of character.
She didn't know how to
it was-
respond. She's like, "DM, this is what you gave me to work with."
Yeah, I think
and
he
even
broke
the DM
character.
was
I
like,
was just
"What?"
I was a dick.
Yeah,
But,
then you're like, "I will not travel with this." one."
yeah. Then I refused to travel. That
'Cause you
was
didn't
stupid,
trust her.
because I didn't trust her, and,
and
I
it was just like, oh.
And that led to a big conversation after. It's like, okay, every time we play, we know each other. we know each other beforehand.
Yeah, so
And
like
that's
I said,
that's pretty much a rule we've come up with in our group, like because of me. So
no,
I'm
I wouldn't
pretty
say it's
much,
that we
but-
all have to know each other, but I mean, the next time we played a session where we were all,
that went well.
yeah, where we all did know each other. Like I said, I liked what happened after when we started with the new characters, like my gnome wizard, and we brought out your drow ranger. And I liked the way that thing started.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I just we just haven't had time to play really.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
but
like to-
anyway, I was a dick.
yeah,
I can admit that.
You know, we all have
Kind of like
sessions.
I do get frustrated, like, and I've brought this up. It's no secret when we have like drop in, drop out characters that seem to go like they come out of nowhere sometimes, and then I don't know. It breaks immersion for me, and I do play like Dungeons and Dragons at least partially for immersion, like I do
Yeah.
in role playing games on computers and stuff like that, like computer role playing games. Sorry, so it kind of not ruins it, but it distracts me in a bad way, I'd say. So I do get frustrated.
What do you think of the way, a little bit of a different, like same topic but a little
Yeah.
bit different? What do you think of the way I introduced the orc last time? Dan's new character.
Oh, that was it made sense.
Yeah,
Mind
you like that?
controlled, yeah. And like I said, and I've, to be fair, like I try, like I deliberately, because of that incident probably, like I try not to do that as much. I try to just like, even if the character would be mistrusting, and really when you think about it, why would you just be like, oh, hello random
Hello,
person,
orc.
how about
I'm
you?
a drow that's not evil. Let's
How-
not kill each other.
How about you? Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like,
I think it was
not
dealt
even
with
just
well
that,
last
not even
time,
just
though.
that, but you find like a random dude in the bush, like fully armed to the teeth with a weird motive.
I don't think.
And
that
that's
she
not
was-
just her. That's
she
not, no. This
wasn't-
has happened multiple
yeah,
times. It's
but-
not just that incident.
Yeah.
How would you react? But here's the deal. I get that, like, you got to be like accepting. You know what I mean? You got to be more accommodating than what I was doing when you have like new players.
Yeah,
which is on me. You know, I get that.
And I mean, and nothing against the DM. It also takes. I think it takes takes a lot of work and effort to write in characters.
It does.
That are coming in and out, or even coming in new characters that come in like after the party's already gone into things. Like when we were playing that one, you were playing the elf from Evermeet or something like that, the Isles.
Oh yeah.
And then we had the Dragonborn warlock come in, and the druid, Wyatt's character, and Gingy's character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I felt like they were written in okay because they had a similar goal. Because you guys were exploring what happened to these.
But like I said, you can do it. It's just hard.
But it does take effort. Yeah.
And I'm also been like, because a lot of like I find that like I don't like mercenary characters. Like it kind of frustrates me, and that was a big problem with this last session I played because literally everyone. Well, first of all, they weren't really role playing, which isn't my thing.
Yeah.
If you want to get together and shoot the shit, that's cool. But I like to play, as you know, right? But
the immersion.
They were just kind of like, they're just kind of like
murder
hobos.
Shoot the shit
and murder
have
hobos.
Some combat shit on to entertain you
and buy shit, I guess.
Yeah.
But so that's
our
just
gaming.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, which isn't my thing, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's always fun to get new shit.
But even when you play like. Not serious, but when you have like role play and everything, I do find that people playing mercenary characters, like it's kind of like underdeveloped.
I think,
and I find it because like your goal is to make money, and it's like why? Well, I don't know.
I think
money. It's hard to do.
I don't think so.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
I've played shit mercenary characters a lot.
I
stopped.
I've played 2.
Like I've played 2 or 3,
but they were mostly just because. At the time, we had a rotating party because of...
Evil party.
Yeah, we were playing a good party, and then it
party.
Became evil, and a couple characters didn't want to go along with it, so we just created something very quick.
Yeah.
To go along with the party. Neutral mercenaries.
Yeah, I wanted to. Like, I wanted to kind of do neutral. I know you didn't, but it was like, you got outvoted.
Basically, it's like 5-1. Everyone else wants to be evil, and I'm like, fuck this. So
I wanted to be neutral.
Yeah.
I wanted to be but then I realized, hey, playing like a chaotic neutral mercenary sucks.
I don't think that mercenaries themselves are inherently bad to play as. I think that you have to make them interesting though as a player, and that's on you. I mean, on the DM as well. But if they don't evolve and they're always just about money.
Well, that was interesting.
That's
like,
the problem.
My guy got like a huge payout, and then I realized, like both in character and out of character, it's like, well, I don't really have a reason to adventure anymore. Like
I'm
a million. Yeah, so he retired. That character actually, I think, is the only character I've had who's like had an end.
Yeah.
He retired. He bought an estate. He has his own company, I believe, is what he's doing right now, and there's no
starting
reason.
a business.
Yeah, he's starting his own mercenary business, like his own company. So there's no reason for him to go out and adventure anymore because he made his money.
But
no point.
I think if you were to do a mercenary and you wanted to continue to play as the character, you'd have to get invested in something besides being a sellsword.
Yeah, I think
it'd have to be like a character shift.
Idealistic love of adventure.
Yeah, or perhaps like, maybe there's something you come across in your adventure that draws you to learn more about it, or something that you want to protect.
Yeah.
Or an opportunity that comes up that you want to seize.
I guess. I don't know. I just I know with my character, I didn't like playing him because the extent of his personality was, I talk kind of funny.
And I like to make money.
I like to make my money.
And I was like a tiefling rogue or something like that. I remember. I want to steal things. And
did you die?
I got pulled into a wall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
We were in this...
right.
We were in this special library in the Underdark.
And you were done.
And I went to go steal a gem, and I was never seen again. So
that's funny, though. But yeah, my guy made it out, got paid, and left. And then I've also I found that the other characters that we played with, with our friends and everything, when they do just straight mercenaries, that they're rather boring.
It's hard to interact with.
Yeah,
I want to make money.
Yeah, why are you here? I don't know. I wanted to make some money.
Yeah, it's a quick buck.
It's a quick buck, yeah. And here's the deal.
It's an easy dollar.
The one thing that bothers me is I don't mind, when we were doing the evil campaign and I was playing, the aforementioned Darien, the Oath of Conquest.
You kind of need a rotating cast with him.
Exactly. Well, mercenaries are good with him, and I don't mind it as much because I'm not really there to talk to other characters, but especially when I'm playing... one more thing. He actually didn't mind mercenaries because I think in his mind, how I role played it was, if I can understand what somebody wants, then I have some power over them. And if you have money, then you're in my pocket. You know what I mean? That's the idea. It's easy to control.
It's easy to too, right?
Exactly.
So he had lots of money.
So it's easy to control these people and get what I want. He was more worried about working with the wizard because the wizard had his own ambitions, Drath.
Yeah.
Which made for an interesting dynamic. That was actually kind of
honestly,
cool.
I liked the, and this isn't against Will either. And I love Drath too as a character, especially like the way he progressed.
Well, just because he has such lofty goals, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and and even the way he got to play when he went evil.
To everyone listening, this character wanted to become a lich. That was his whole goal. Basically, become just seek power at any cost. He
wanted to become immortal by going through. He wanted to become.
Which makes for interesting quests because my character at the time was seeking immortality through basically becoming the Lord of Murder. He wanted to replace Baal, I believe. He had a whole ritual plan. It was like the ripoff of the Baldur's Gate plot.
Yeah.
Or something. Maybe it was Bane. I can't remember, but he wanted to become a god, and then the wizard wanted to become a lich. So they had this kind of tentative pact. First of all, they bonded over hatred of a certain elf that fucked with both of them.
Yep.
So they bonded over that.
And even after
that, or just because of resources, they both could help each other get what they want.
Yeah.
And then they both would we kind of teamed up to hire other mercenary characters, which everyone else was playing.
Yeah.
And that's when the mercenaries worked well. But one thing I do find is when you're playing a good party, especially when I'm playing either my ranger, or if I'm playing anyone else, why would you trust? I don't need to hire you.
Especially with Theraval, why would you trust anybody that's just off the streets?
Yeah, just to hire. I'm not going to hire.
He's a drow from the Underdark, so that says one thing.
Yeah, and then he got backstabbed.
What is he, chaotic good?
He's chaotic good because he doesn't trust. He's had bad experiences, obviously, with authority figures.
Yeah.
Both within his hometown of Tel Nerquel and on the surface, obviously. So he wants to do what's right, but generally he finds it better.
Himself.
Yeah, either by himself or at least outside of the confines of most established civilizations, because it just doesn't work out for him.
2 people I know that he trusts fully?
Yeah, the paladin
3.
He's traveling with, Silas, and then I guess this year because they went we had a monk character too.
Who helped them escape the Underdark.
Yeah,
they were all enslaved at the same time.
Yeah, we're going off on a bunch of different tangents. Probably this is going to be really hard for people to follow, but we have multiple stories that we play, obviously, and in one story, our characters, the ranger and Brendan's paladin, in addition to another guy we played with who was playing a monk, we got stuck in the Underdark, and then we had to escape.
Yeah,
then we got out, and that kind of made a bond between the 3 of them. But
the
point is, the mercenaries. And we've had mercenaries play with those characters don't work well because first of all, I'm not a rich dude. I'm not going to hire help. I'm a pretty independent guy. That's what I'm playing. Same with your character,
and even Silas, even if he has money,
why would you do it?
He's we have enough.
You wouldn't trust them either.
No, and he also wouldn't want to put others in harm's way. He's like, nah, you're gonna probably die. We can deal with this.
And then there's so that they don't characters like that don't work well with good characters. I find so that's why I don't like playing with. Chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral in general, I don't like. It's
you have to do
really
it properly. You have to.
It's really annoying. I like money
properly.
because 90% of the time, chaotic neutral means chaotic.
That's
money.
Like true neutral.
Nah, but usually people play chaotic neutral. They like their own freedom or whatever, and then they just want to make money.
Yeah, but if they're working as a mercenary, that's got to be neutral because a chaotic neutral person wouldn't work for anyone.
That's not.
They're an individual first and last.
Yeah, but here's the deal. A chaotic neutral character might work for somebody. They just wouldn't honor the contract if they didn't feel like it. That's all it is. If you were lawful neutral,
neutral wouldn't honor the contract if they didn't want to either.
A lawful neutral would.
Yeah, but a true neutral wouldn't have to.
No, but I'm saying...
I feel like a chaotic neutral person wouldn't even want the contract in the first place.
I don't think they would. If it's a means to an end, they would.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? They just want to see the world do their thing, and if I can get paid doing it, why not? That's the mentality you could have with that.
Perhaps.
But
it depends on how
you want to play it. But the thing, my big point is, I guess, with mercenaries in general, and when people, most of the time when they play chaotic neutral, it's almost like an excuse for not having a character. So I just want to kill shit and make money.
We had a chaotic neutral character, but he wasn't.
We've had good chaotic neutral characters.
In that one that we were doing, the League of Legends one, we had a chaotic neutral character who I thought was really cool and actually good. He played chaotic neutral really well, but he didn't stay as it forever. I think he's now chaotic good.
Okay.
He's kind of transitioned.
That's interesting.
Yeah, actually, that whole party's really transitioned, except for my dude.
You guys static.
Well, he's transitioned a little, but then he was about to. Because, okay, backstory. I was playing this character, and he's basically you know what an aberration is?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically an aberration from the void.
Sure. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so I basically am this creature that's hundreds of years old that's gained sentience through eating and devouring and consuming people and getting their memories and their skills.
Sound like a fun character to be around.
Yeah, so it was really funny at first because I played him true neutral. He basically looks out for himself as a hunter. Right?
All right.
He follows things when he finds it's adequate to him, but for the most part, he's just basically about himself. He's a hunter, but something I wanted to instill in him is he's starting to, as he's eating more and more, he's starting to learn more and more he's starting to feel more human. And he's not really sure how that feels. You know,
or what he thinks
know,
about that.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what it is. He's starting to feel emotion that he doesn't understand.
And he's like, "What are this?"
Yeah, basically. It was really funny at first playing him because he seems like a fish out of water in social situations. Like, we had to go. We were talking to this innkeeper, and one of the characters was flirting with the barmaiden, right? And I'm like, "Oh, is this?" And you could obviously tell that she's blushing. I'm like, is this what happens when two people want to copulate or something like that? And she got like super blushy. And he's like, oh, sorry, that was an attempt at humor. And throws on this like really poor smile.
That's funny.
So he was neat, but we did this thing where we figured out this NPC had ended up for a great cost. They got these amazing powers with this evil sort of entity, but in doing so they accidentally killed their village. And we got to kind of go back in time and see how it all worked out. And my character... we figured out the NPC was basically cast down. Everyone in the town thought she was a witch.
Right.
So they had treated her very poorly in the past. And my character, the true neutral guy, there was a stone thrown at the woman, the NPC, and it hit my character. So my character hunters marked the guy who threw the stone, and later on went to his house to go kill him. Because he's like, you don't cross me. Oh. And I'm like, is he going to be evil? And I went in there and I met the man's child. And then we had a very heartfelt conversation about what it is to be human and what it is to be a monster.
This sounds intense.
Yeah.
Sounds like an intense group.
It was really fun. And then so he ended up getting this gift, this little like teddy bear from the girl. And he gave her a little carving that he made from bone.
Okay.
But eventually the whole city was destroyed.
Oh, that's too bad.
In the past. But he still remembers the girl, so he went to where the girl was, and she was holding the little gift he gave her. It said Mr. Monster's gift. And for the first time, he actually broke down in tears and started crying.
Oh,
and he's like, he didn't know what he was feeling.
Sounds a bit deep.
Yeah, and I thought at this moment, hey, maybe my true neutral guy is going to become neutral good, right?
Yeah.
No, he goes up to the girl, like the super powerful NPC.
Yeah.
That I know we can't kill right now because she basically has the power of a god on her side, like the weapon. She's got this powerful entity that's like a god.
Sure.
And my guy's like, I can't kill you now, but I'm going to come back one day and I will kill you.
And they thought he was a good guy.
Yeah, he's still doing it for himself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even if he was doing it for the little girl, it'd be
he's
like
neutral,
maybe.
but
he's still
he has feelings. So that's cool. There you go. There's a good true neutral character.
I think he is going to transition to good as the thing goes on more. He's starting
Depends
to
what happens, right?
Could go evil
Depends
too.
What happens.
But he was so close to shifting over
That's
to
funny.
good, and then I'm like, no, I'm coming back and I will kill you.
I will find you.
And then the whole party got so mad at him because that could have been such a useful ally. And they all run up, and the one of the party members, because I was like, that little girl they called him a friend, and he didn't know what a friend was. And then one of the party members runs up and is like, come on, I thought we were friends, right?
Yeah.
Because he was going to go attack the girl, or at least he looked like he was going to, right? And the other guy was going to step in the way. And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know we were friends. I didn't know what a friend was. And the guy got so offended, but he's like, it was cool.
That sounds cool.
And then in the last session that we were playing, I was playing that sorcerer, and we had a guy who was like, what was he, lawful neutral, I think, which was my older brother. He was not necessarily good or evil, kind of haunted by things he had to do.
Older brother in the game.
Yeah, in the game.
Yeah, you don't have a brother.
No, yeah, the guy in the game. He's kind of haunted by things he had to do, and he was starting to sort of resent the authority that he was looking at, that he was working under.
Okay.
And I was playing like a neutral good character.
All right.
And then I ended up saving the city and everything. But so far, and we also had like a true neutral slave who's basically, one of the player characters is a ghost that works for a powerful lich.
All right.
Which was really weird to write into, but meeting our characters, he's sort of broken his bond with the Lich a little bit. So not only is there a Lich coming to kill us in 2 months now because of a contract he made.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so we're going. Our goal Our goal right now is we got to figure out there's this entity that almost blew up the city, and he's from this rival sort of major city. So we got to go there, find him, kill him, get our ghost power back, and then go towards where the ghost came from to go kill the Lich, or at least bargain with the Lich.
That sounds like bananas.
So that we don't get killed in 2 months. We have 2 months to do it.
Shit.
It's pretty fun. But
sounds good.
The ghost has transitioned from being like maybe lawful neutral to being like a neutral good. He's starting to remember who he was in his past life. He even gave himself a name. He's no longer has a slave name.
So, yeah, you got to hook me up with this group, though.
The older brother is...
sounds fun.
He was a fighter. Now he's going into ranger. And he's I think he's gone from lawful neutral to like a maybe chaotic good. Because now he just resents authority. But he's like a good dude now. He wants to do what's right. My dude still hasn't changed, but...
Well, it sounds like you guys have deep characters, though. It sounds interesting.
It was a fun time. Like
it sounds fun.
I think you'd enjoy it. Even if you don't know the lore, you'd love the character.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll give it a go then.
Yeah.
League of Legends lore. But hey, we've been going for a bit here. We said we will a bit shorter. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we all nerdy shop.
There you go. Less sports and shit.
Yeah, we'll have to get into...
We'll do sports next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about our
NHL playoffs
predictions.
Our playoff predictions, which I was already wrong.
I think mine
Vegas,
have all been right.
Thanks.
Vegas, San Jose, Nashville, Pittsburgh. I said that too.
Did you say Pittsburgh?
I did.
All right. Hey, we'll get into it on the next
Tampa.
one. Tampa, yeah.
So the only two that are left are Washington. Was my other one.
Who'd we? I think I picked Washington in 7,
yes,
which is pretty good right now.
Just what it's looking to be. And what's the other series that's still going?
Boston won.
Boston and Toronto. And I was saying Toronto.
Yeah. No, they didn't. Yeah.
And I was saying Boston. So
yeah, I think we both said Boston.
So far, I'm almost 100%
I think I was
in my
off,
predictions.
I was off on one, I think. I was off on one or two.
It wasn't
Vegas.
Tampa, it was Vegas.
I thought LA would beat them in 7. Nope.
Swept.
All right.
Well, that's a little preview for next time.
Yeah, we'll get into it next time.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm Chris.
I'm Brendan. This
Thanks.
Is But anyways, so you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you in a week or so.
Bye.